this day, I mean, my name's the Nerd Man, and today we're going to be talking about a YouTuber that I very much like. I've always enjoyed his content, and I'm really surprised, honestly, quite surprised that I'm gonna have to do this video. So it's regarding Andy Signore, and look, Andy Signore has done a video in which he's talking about the toxicity within the Snyder fan base. This is a toxicity that very much exists. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen them attacking Patty Jenkins. I've seen them attacking the director of Shazam. When their films are coming out, them just over and over hashtagging release the Snyder Cut. I've seen this fan base do a lot of crazy shit, and I've seen them not be denounced by the other side. I've actually had to deal with this fan base certain times. Now, they haven't done anything particularly terrible to me. I'm not going to try and say like they told me to go die or something like that. But in general, they don't seem to like to have a conversation, an open conversation or a debate about their about why they like Snyder movies, or or certain of the flaws in Snyder movies, or certain of just the realisms of the fact that that Man of Steel and BVS underperformed and seriously held back the DCEU universe. So there's that, and I'm not gonna deny it. That is what happened. But having said that, recently there's been this kind of war online ever since this Ann Sarnoff has basically come out saying that she's not going to continue the Snyderverse. Now, I'm not somebody who's for continuing the Snyderverse. I just want Snyder to be able to direct new movies in the DCEU, and I want him to be given some time to come up with an idea of how to continue his movies after continue the movies of Justice League after the Snyder Cut movie. But I really don't want him to go into the Nightmare universe. But that's just me. I mean, I think that's a bad mistake. I don't think you should be killing off three of your most popular female characters just to advance the storyline of three male characters, i.e. he wants to kill off Zack Snyder, that is. He wants to kill off Lois Lane. He wants to kill off Joker. Sorry, he wants to kill off Lois Lane, Wonder Woman, and Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn and Wonder Woman are at the moment actual franchise players, so they can carry their own franchises. Why would you want to kill them off just to advance the story of Batman and Superman and Joker, and in essentially what would be another Batman v Superman movie? I think that's asinine. I think that's crazy, and I think really it will tank the DC EU if they went forward with those plans. But I do think Zack Snyder made a technical masterpiece in terms of crafting action. And I do believe he had a really strong script for this Justice League movie, which allowed him to go against some of his worst impulses. And I believe if you gave him another chance to do something like that, say we want something in a similar tone, can you do that for us, Zack Snyder? I think they can go forward with his universe while appeasing a lot of the fans. Now, the truth of the matter is, the Zack Snyder Cut has unified more people who like it than not. People like myself who were not fans of Zack Snyder's DCEU universe have now looked at this film and said, hey, this is what I like. This is what we wanted from the beginning. We still have some criticisms. We still don't like the killing. We don't like this nightmare scenes. Maybe Martian Manhunter was a little bit too much, but in general, you did good, kid. You did good, Zack Snyder, with this movie, and you put DC in a place with this movie that it's needed to be in for a while, in which we can start pulling out some solo movies of these Justice League characters, the main Justice League characters. We can start introducing the Green Lantern Corps. We can start introducing characters like Martian Manhunter into solo films. He's got Wonder Woman back on track after Wonder Woman 84 really hurt her as a her brand, basically, and people weren't so interested in Wonder Woman. Zack Snyder, with the action he did with Wonder Woman here, put her on the map. I think there's going to be a lot more interest in the Flash movie. I think, despite the bad behavior by Ray Fisher, which I don't agree with. I don't agree with trying to cancel people on Twitter, saying they did things to you, but not telling people what they are, and then expecting you to be supported in your accusations by DC fans. I don't agree with that. I think that's terrible behavior. I think you should have let the investigation go and see what the outcome is. And then if you wanted to release details of that investigation, release it in a proper manner. But anyway, so Ann Sarnoff has come out and said, Snyder, we're not doing the Snyderverse anymore. We're not messing with Snyder anymore. I think it's a bad business decision, but I understand why she's done it, because there is a toxic fan base behind Zack Snyder. But let's call out all toxicity, shall we? Now, one of my greatest regrets as a YouTuber, this is really one of my greatest regrets, is that I didn't come out and stand up for Andy Signore as soon as allegations came up against him during the Me Too movement. I wasn't doing as much YouTubing then. I kind of gone offline, but I absolutely supported Andy Signore. I thought, in terms of what happened to him, and when we saw the receipts, we saw, obviously he cut it, so I'm not going to say I'm not saying I 100% believe him, but I 99% believe him, because nobody's come back to, none of the people who were involved in the situation with Andy Signore have come back to actually, debunk any of what he said in his account of what happened to him. And from the very jump, when I heard the allegations against him, I was highly suspicious of what was being said. I thought it was patently absurd what he was being accused of. If you listen to the story of the girl who was saying that he did all of these terrible things, it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. She went to a hotel room. He somehow managed to do things that just seemed impossible to me. And, he was immediately cancelled, because he's a guy who maybe we can imagine, because of maybe how he looks, that we can think, oh yeah, maybe he did that shit. And that's wrong. We need to give people a chance. We need to have the presumption of innocence. And then, even worse, the people at Screen Junkies came out and did this basic hit piece on him. This terrible, terrible hit piece. His actual friends, without a shred of evidence, all uniformly turned against him. Some even, adding fuel to the fire, like Roxy Stryer, or whatever Roxy's name is, saying things that just, she had no evidence for whatsoever. It was absolutely appalling, and I denounce it in absolute terms. For your friends, for people you consider your friends, to come out and just do that without any shred of evidence, not even going to call you and see, how you are, what happened, let me hear it from your side, nothing. And they just came out and denounced him. I thought it was cowardly then, and I think it's cowardly now. I have changed none of my mind on that. What I do take offense with, or it's not offense, pardon me, I'm not offended by this, but what I do have a problem with is how Andy Signore is now dealing with this. I think he really needs to reflect on himself about how, I know he's angry with Dan Murrell, and probably rightly so, after what Dan Murrell did with him. But we're talking about this film, this movie, the Snyder Cut movie, Zack Snyder's movie, and what it managed to achieve as a movie. And he's suggesting that people who are coming out saying they like the movie are just lying, and they're doing it because they want, I don't know, to be liked or something by, the Snyder Cut fans. I'm not interested in being liked by Snyder fanboys. I don't care. I say what I want to say, and I like this movie, and I think it's a good platform and starting off place to actually move into a proper DCEU universe that can rival Marvel while not absolutely copying Marvel, i.e. in the tone and the comedy and the lightheartedness. DC is not like that. DC animated, if you look at the animated features, they've been much darker recently. I'm not saying make the Superman dark or make Wonder Woman dark, but the world that they've existed in is much more serious, realistic, and mythic. Their mythology, their gods on this earth, they're representative almost of the Greek gods in modern time. And the storytelling that that Zack Snyder managed to do within the Snyder Cut is very, very reminiscent of that kind of storytelling. And it's a good starting off point for the DC to really expand. And when you look, I'm sorry, don't try and fucking lie about this. If the DC, and Harnoff, Walter Hamada, all of these guys, if I saw that they had a better plan, they had a good plan, I would be all for them. I would say, okay, let's wait, see if their plan is as good as Snyder's, and then we'll kind of move forward. The only interesting films I see on that slate are on the new slate are the Batman movie, which is in a completely different universe, so it's not part of the DCEU, and the Shazam 2, where Shazam isn't really part of the Justice League or whatever, at least the core members at the moment. I think he should be put in, and I don't think there's anything else. Maybe the Black Adam movie. But this is a very, very messy slate. Whereas you can use the Snyder, this Snyder Justice League movie, get some other directors, get some new, fresh eyes on these, on the characters in the Snyder movie. So you can direct the Cyborg movie. You can direct, obviously Aquaman is already going for it. Now we've got Wonder Woman back. Let's get a Wonder Woman 3 that more reflects the style of Wonder Woman in this Zack Snyder movie, which is much more popular. We've got Superman is for the first time in this movie is acting like Superman. Let's get a Superman movie going from this movie. Get another director, not Zack Snyder, another director to look at what Zack Snyder did and actually craft a Superman movie out of this universe. He's got everything right back in place. And that is the good thing about this Snyder movie. Not only is it a good movie that is exciting a broader fan base who are liking it, who are, they may like the MCU, but at the same time, they want something different. We don't want everything to be ubiquitous. If you want MCU style movies, just go and watch MCU. Go and watch Marvel. We want something different, fresher takes, new ideas on these comic book properties, rather than just always universe or monolithic or homogeneous types of movies in this space. That's what DC can offer. And that's what this Zack Snyder movie offered. And that's what it speaks to. And it speaks to a lot more people than you're pretending it does. So I want to listen to this part of what Andy Signore did. And I like the guy. I've already said I really do respect him. No hate towards him, no anger towards him. I'm just shocked, really, really shocked at this behavior. I know you hate Dan Murrell, but come on.
On this movie, myself included, I'm like, yeah, whatever, meh. It's not a good movie. I'm sorry. It's a better movie because it's longer. Yes, there's some more characters, but it's still about sky beams and mother boxes. And I'm sorry, it doesn't. A bunch of characters that I have not, been engrossed with before that. I'm not going to suddenly change my ways and be like, oh my God, this is the best masterpiece I've ever seen in my life. I admitted it was better than I thought it would be. I gave it some credit. I have. There are some cool sequences. I thought the third act was fun. I'm being honest, but at the same time, is this the best movie since sliced bread? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But to see these people just gush over this movie now, Dan included, it's embarrassing. I don't believe him for a second. I don't believe it for a second.
Throw up.
And there's so many people out there that you can tell I really genuinely believe it. They're doing it out of fear because Zach has allowed and encouraged his fan base out there to be vicious to people if they go against him.
Yes.
He does not want critics to be against him, and it's all coming to light. And then the irony of this week where he had to call out Geeks and Gamers as, oh my God, it was just so funny to see him he had to finally call
it. That was really sad.
It was and it made him look stupid and I defended Geeks and Gamers like, dude, they raised you 60. There he is, and I only say this because I went and watched it myself. And I know this guy. He wants to claim I don't know this guy, but I'm going to use it just because you go and look. He got a lot of views, and he got a lot of.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, thank you, Zantex. Hello, can you hear me now? Can you say yes if you can hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now, Zantex. Okay, all right, thanks very much. Look, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna re-record this. So thanks Zantex for helping me out there. I'm gonna re-record this. So what you can do is in 5 minutes I'm gonna start the stream again. So please join me and then you can ask me any questions about this. Can I ask you, can you Can you hear when I press play?
Attention, because it was an easy way to do it. And you know why he did that? I don't know. Here I am guessing a bit, but I can only assume he did that out of fear. He did that out of fear. Because so many people have been bullied into you have to like this or else you deal with the cult. I can't tell you how many people were going to come on that Nerd Wars about the fan, and they were like, I don't want to deal with it. I can't deal with the fan base. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. People who were okay with it. Like, I think there was a lot of people who were sort of in the middle on this movie, myself included. I'm like, yeah, whatever, meh. It's not a good movie. I'm sorry. It's a better movie because it's longer. Yes, there's some characters, but it's still about sky beams, mother boxes. I'm sorry, it doesn't. People who were okay.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna come back and re-record this. All right. So thanks very much. Thanks a lot.